Holy shit. Holy fuck. Alright. Hello everyone. I'm now giving you my review of Sinister, which I just watched. I wanted to watch for a long time. I just got around to watching it, and this is like one of those movies that I was missing out of my top movies list. Or that I came out in October, my top 10 favorite horror movies of the 21st century. I think this one may be in the top 5. It really is. This is one of the most disturbing and fucked up movies I've ever watched. And that is coming sincerely from me. And I watched VHS and The Exorcist. And those two freaked the hell out of me. Those two got under my skin. Okay, basically talk about the story. The basics. I'll try to figure out. Okay, it's basically the story of this is basically goes like this. True crime writer Ellison Oswald, played by Ethan Hawke, is in a slump. He hasn't had a bestseller in more than 10 years and is becoming increasingly desperate for a hit. So when he discovers the existence of a snuff film showing the gruesome and horrific deaths of a family, gruesome and horrific there, I added in myself, he vows to solve a mystery. He moves his own family into the victim's house and gets to work. However, when old film footage and other clues hint at the presence of a supernatural force, Allison learns that the living in the house may be fatal. And the director of this film is Scott Derrickson, and he directed the only notable film that comes to my mind is the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and that movie is extraordinarily good. And I'm looking at Sinister right here, right now, on Google, and it has a 63%. This kind of deserves, in my view, a bit more of a higher rating. I love the way this film is made. I think it's immensely amazing. I think the way it's shot is haunting yet beautiful. There's a lot of foreshadowing with a lot of the heavy shadows, because in this house they live in, there is nothing on the walls except for in a kid's room, or there may be some artwork or a poster or something like that. But it's everyone else in the house in this movie has nothing on the walls, so that the projection of either light or shadow on there is going to be heavily forecasted. Therefore, you can create a lot of atmosphere and a lot of great sense of color pension or color grading with the film, and I think that's beautifully well done. The main noticeable actor in this movie is Ethan Hawke, and I would say this: I watched half of Boyhood on my way to Hawaii, and I didn't watch Boyhood all the way through. In Boyhood, I thought he was very authentic, very much him in that performance. In this film, it feels like he's channeling a character from a Stephen King novel. He's heavy on drinking, he's very mentally tortured, he's very in depth. I think it's such a well done performance. It's just, he brings out such a sincerity and such a desperateness in his performance that's really just haunting. It's a very great performance. And the little shorts he watches at times, when he sees the old film footage, the most disturbing one that I found the most absolutely disturbing, the one that got under my skin the most, was with the one with the camera that was in the house and was recording all the things of the person slitting the family's throats. And that one enough made me literally turn away. I almost I was disturbed. I was just, fuck, man. Holy shit. And, basically, the way the film progresses is, and the character I forgot the actor's name. James Ransom plays this deputy he meets and basically helps him solve the crime. Plays this immensely likable deputy. He kind of reminds me as Jake Gyllenhaal from Prisoners. Like, he just has such an innocent look to him, but he's very much a very unique and complex character, just like with Ethan Hawke's character. And I think he's very, very well done. And I just think it's such a powerful performance. Like, the performances from Julia Childs, who plays his wife, also really good. And the performances by the girls who were the daughters were also really good. And I love how this film, for me at least, felt very different with its growth. When it went along, it very much felt like it was going to different points in certain tempo modes where it felt very, very distorted and off and very offbeat, and that was really unique. I thought it was really, really well made with its storytelling. And overall, you must think I must really love this movie. Well, love isn't the right word. I think it's kind of traumatized. God, this film is terrifying, and if you can watch this film, then I would highly suggest it if you love horror films. Note there, if you love horror films, then I would suggest this film. Do I have any problems with the film? The sound effects, like, of very faint things like clothing or the rubbing against the wall, like the sound editing is very good. It makes you feel very intimate, very, very close, because it attacks in a way that's very, very close to you in a home. In a place where it's meant to be safe, the place you are meant to feel comfortable. It makes a place like that feel fucking horrific. And of course, because he's living in a house where a bunch of grisly murders happened. And it's just so highly disturbing. And the way it goes, and sound mixing, and it's just so good, so damn good. My only problem that comes to my mind is that the film may not always be consistent. Like, there's some moments where I think it kind of may drag a bit, like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, okay, alright. But then I do feel like those moments, even though they do drag down, they still are important and they're still very relevant for the storytelling's sake. And I think that's really, really good, and it adds a great level of depth to the film. The film also brings in certain things like paganism and old religious rituals and old memories and old footage and all these crazy, unique things I didn't think before. Only the ritual stuff and other things I know about before, but I never knew about pagan rituals. I searched up while the movie was after, and this film is really interesting. I really got into his own type of mythology that was making, and I was just like, wow, this is super engaging. Like I said before, the only problem with this movie is that it's not always consistent. But in the end, I think Sinister is one of the best horror films of the 2010s. And I will give Sinister an 85%. It's truly damn good and it's worth your own watch. Sorry for looking that way. In the end, I would highly suggest Sinister. It's a definite must-see if you're into horror films. Check it out. Just watch on your own risk. I'm not responsible for what happens to you when you watch it.